Welcome to this presentation. I'm going to give you less than 5 minutes introduction to an issue that has come up several times and people are confusing them most of the time. And it is necessary for us to understand in order to move forward. So let's see what we can do. When doing something like this, it's always important for us to understand a couple of things. So we know that businesses experience distress all the time. But it is important to look at the type of distress, the severity of the distress, the origin of the distress in order to make decisions related to acting upon that distress. And it is important for us to know that we must apply the appropriate interventions when we do things like turnaround and business rescue and even liquidation procedures. Do the right thing for the right situation. And this is a proposed framework. Just one slide that I'm going to share with you how this should be looked at. So for a healthy going concern business, we can see that that business is busy doing what it's supposed to do. It's like the person running outside as an analogy. All they do is they monitor, they prevent, they prepare for things that might happen, and they are basically growing the business. That is the healthy going concern. But sometimes healthy going concerns may also trip and fall. And that's like when you go to the doctor, you get advice. People are checking on you, they look at the early warning signs, and the business is being fixed, maybe by medication or by doing the business slightly different. In the third phase, when the business really becomes distressed, it's like going to the hospital. You are now in bed, you are sick, you are being monitored, but the business must be reorganized or restructured in order to become a going concern again, possibly. Distressed businesses are more difficult to save. And the fourth phase is that when we have severe distress, that is like the ICU. You are taken there not by choice. You are in that case because it's an emergency. You cannot respond and you must be rescued. And you are kind of bedridden. And such businesses are rarely saved. In the final stage, when the business is gone, it's dead. There's no more. It's become insolvent. It must be liquidated. That is like being in the morgue. There's nothing there that you can do. It is a case of, it's a funeral. And your focus cannot be there. And unfortunately, what we see is what happens is that people wait until here at the end of stage 3, 4, 5 before they want to take action because they don't know. And you can see on the blue arrow there at the bottom that our problems, if they are operational, that's like the trip and fall. But when the problems are strategic in nature, from origin wise, it is much more difficult to save those businesses. And the people that are involved are on the left hand side. You go and see a strategist, a specialist, a person who can advise you how to do your business better. Sick businesses are going for advisors. When they are distressed, you require a turnaround professional, which is an expert. They know how to do this. It's not every Tom, Dick and Harry that can do it. Later stages require business rescue practitioners because people wait, unfortunately, too long before they file. And then the end is the insolvency practitioner. And the question is really, where are we focusing? So if we expand the question and we say, where is our focus? Unfortunately, we see that a lot of focus is on the severely distressed and the morgue. And that is not, I think, where we can make a difference. And if we want to make a difference, we must ask the question, where should our focus be? And to make a difference in doing business and doing business better and more easily, where should we focus? As early as possible. And that is the simple answer. The earlier you start to prepare the earlier you start to monitor, the earlier you become aware of what's happening in your environment with your business, that's where you can really make a difference. If you wait till you are in the ICU, you are rarely saved. But when you're also in the morgue, you cannot be, most of the time you cannot be saved. And it's purely the distribution of what's left to the creditors that makes a difference.